Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet Online. The game starts here.
Thank you for making Saints Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. 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 Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, bugging like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
The Cowboy people looking like, oh my God, we actually paid money for this. Yes, you did. You asked for this. You asked for this ass whooping, and we gave you what you asked for. You asked. You kept saying we're going to 40 burger the Saints. How ironic is the Saints turn around and 40 burger their ass? Now let the excuses flow. Let them flow. Let it all flow, baby. Let it all flow. All the BS going to flow about how this, that, and the third, how we would deject it. We would just, it ain't nothing. Let it all flow. We called it out. Thank you, Black Preacher Man says, yeah, Sable. That's right. Yes. Yeah, Steve Sable. That's right. Shout out to Steve Sable, man. That's the dude that would be narrating them old HBOs used to be on HBO. Steve Sable used to do that. He does it for NFL films. That was the voice of Steve Sable. That's right, Black Preacher Man. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Yes, indeed, man. Listen, man, let me tell y'all, this was a great win today, man. And listen, man, all this talk ain't the same. We had a good time, man. We ain't done yet. Y'all hold tight. I'm going to be opening up Dennis Allen with all them popping up on the pros game. We're going to have one arrogant and cocky peacock coming out. He deserved it, man. They put on a ass whoopery of this Dallas Cowboy team, just took them apart, dispatched them. And I think we did this team worse than we did Carolina. So all that shit talking about, oh, that's just Carolina. Now we can use that same comment for the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, that was just the Dallas Cowboys. And like I'm going to say again, out of the last 15 meetings against the Dallas Cowboys, the Saints have won. What is it now? What are they now? Out of the last 15, last 14, 110, it's now 11 out of the last 15 meetings. We've beaten the Dallas Cowboys. We don't get anything for that. Hell, I don't get a cookie cake for that. And I like cookie cake, but I don't get no damn cookie cake for beating the Dallas Cowboys. We get a one up on them if they make the playoffs, but we don't get a cookie cake for that.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
All right. Thank you there, Red Eye Man. He says, talk that stuff just to get hit in the glass jaw. Tell him, brother. Tell him, my brother. We slapped the piss out of these people, man. We laid hands on them and says, listen, we're going to pray for y'all first because y'all know not what y'all do. We did that, didn't we? And I told y'all that's a part of Black Preacher Man. Tell them that's a part of active faith. You pray first, then you begin to remove and make them touch every piece of furniture in everywhere. Make them touch the lamp, make them touch the couch, make them touch and push on them and knock them into each other. Whatever you got to do, you resaturate them, but you pray first before you then you begin to bless them with movement. Make them touch the turf as much as they need to. And we did that. We did did what we need to do. All right, Jerome said, "What's up, Jerome? Big ups to you, man. Let's hit the end of the stat, man. Let's get educated on this, fam. Look at this. Saints had 24-20 on the first downs, right? The third down, Saints were 5 of 8. So we got a little bit more human. The Saints had 15. The numbers are staggering. Listen to this. The Saints had 15 first down rushing first downs. They had 15 rushing first downs. 8 passing, but 15 rushing. They got their work in. They were 5 of 8 from third down. Cowboys was 6 of 13. Total plays, the Cowboys had 10 more plays than the Saints. Didn't even matter. 66-56. That's about the only damn thing they won today, right? The Saints had 432 total yards against 353. The drives were the same, 10-10. The Saints averaged 8 yards per play. It wasn't even, this was simple work. This was light work. These people weren't even an obstacle. No disrespect, but I'm saying statistically speaking, if I know who you were. And then the thing is, listen to this. The Saints had 242 yards throwing the ball, fam, right? Derek Carr averaged over 14 yards per throw today against the Dallas Cowboys defense. The Dallas Cowboys defense that's supposed to be elite level. Derek Carr averaged 14 yards against this team today, throwing the ball. 14 yards per throw. Per throw. And that interception wasn't his fault. Well, then again, it is because Chris Olave, it was beyond Chris Olave's outreach and he tipped it up for the pick, whatever. Look at the rushing statistics. The Saints ran 39 times against this team. Listen to me and listen to me well on what the Saints are doing. Carr is in harmony with his running attack. The Saints had 180 yards rushing last week. They come back and give 190 yards. On 39 rushing attempts, they average 5 yards per carry against the Dallas Cowboys elite level defense. They average 5 yards a carry. That's 2 rushes, first down. 2 rushes, first down. That's that. They averaged that on these people. They were 4 of 5 in the red zone. 4 or 5 in the red zone. They had 5 penalties for 40 yards, so they went from 10 to 5. They cut their penalties in half and played a pretty much clean game miscue, which shows a high level of intelligence and discipline, offensively speaking. They had 10 penalties last week. It was cut to 5 for 40. Cowboys 4 for 26. The Cowboys were 0 for 3 in the red zone. Saints were 4 or 5. Cowboys was held to 68 yards rushing off 21 carries. That's a little bit over 3 yards per carry. That's garbage. Saints had 2 turnovers against this team as well. And they ultimately came around and controlled the clock at 30-31 versus 29-29. So it really almost was a wash in terms of time of possession, but didn't make a difference. This is ridiculous. Let's go individual, fam. And then, like I said, y'all stay where y'all at. I'm going to make sure we bring in the post-game interviews from Dennis Allen and all that. We're going to bring all that in soon as it can be played. So we'll get all that soon as it's ready to be played. We'll pipe that in. All right, let's go individual here, man. Give me a second. Let me pull up the individual numbers right here. And this is what it looked like for the black and gold today. Derek Carr, 11 of 16 for 243 yards. He averaged 15 yards per throw, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked once, but had a rating of 125 for the Saints. Alvin Kamara, 20 carries today for $115. He averaged 6 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns. 6 yards a run for Alvin Kamara. Jamal Williams had 8 carries for 39 yards. He averaged 5 yards a carry. Taysom Hill had 3 carries for 18. He averaged 6 yards a carry. Rashid Shaheed had 3 and for 3 for 13. He averaged 4 yards a carry. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter who you are running the ball. The Saints are getting chunk yardage running because the offensive line don't care who it is back there. They're opening up runs on these horizontal runs, these end rounds, that is giving speedy options and power weapons that we have in our running game an opportunity to do what they got to do. The Saints were only 10 yards off a 200-yard rushing performance by their people. Did you hear what I just said? The Saints ran the ball better than what they did against the Carolina Panthers, supposedly against a defense that was supposed to be better than the Carolina Panthers defense, but it was the same result. Numbers showing it all, fam. The numbers are showing it all, right? Rashid Shaheed, 4 for 96 off of 4 targets. He was perfect. Chris Olave, 4 for 6 for 81 yards. Alvin Kamara had 2 for 65 and a score for 3 targets. Taysom 1 for 1 for 1 yard off 1 target. And Prentice was throwing that, but it was just really not a throw. He was just throwing the ball away. Alante Taylor led our defense with tackles. Pete Werner had 8. DeMario had 8. Kool-Aid had 5. Carl Granderson had 5. Did we see any drawback from Kool-Aid McKinstry being in there? CD Lamb Chop was supposed to be cooking the Saints. Kool-Aid McKinstry was in there. Lattimore, we played these people and did these 2 people to us. And our star cornerback, Lattimore, was out. Lattimore was watching the game, and Kool-Aid McKinstry, a rookie, was in there getting busy. Kool-Aid had 5 tackles. Carl Granderson had a sack and a half in the game. He had 1 with Chuck. So Carl Granderson got busy. 3 sacks for the Saints. Brian Bursey had 1. Carl had a half a sack. He shared it with Chase. Boston Adebo had a pick. So did Tyrann Mathieu. Blake Grupe 1 for 1. Hayball had 1 punt for 49 yards. Saints, it was evisceration. It was an absolute evisceration, man. It was an evisceration. The Saints handled the business. They crushed this damn team. They crushed them. Anyway, big ups to the fan. Yeah, they run the ball, bro. That's what happened. You got to run the ball. That was the whole thing. That was the game plan. The game plan is to run the football, run the ball. You got to run the football at these people. If you got a DeMarcus Lawrence or a Parsons, you neutralize their speed by running right at them. And that's what the Saints did. They ran right at Parsons and neutralized him. They took him out of the game. They took Parsons out of the game. He had 0 effect on what the Saints was doing because they did not allow him to rear back there and fire off. And when he was trying to get pressures, there was a time where Jawan Johnson was blocking them. They had different people because they was moving around. It was the same result. You got to allow run blockers to do what run blockers too, which is attack, and put hands on the defender running out. And you see Parsons is not nearly as effective when you grinding and pushing them out of there in the run. And the Saints catered that. They catered that to their guys. And that's how they got this victory today. That's how they got the dub. They handled the business. All right. So big ups to y'all. Head Trauma say, what up, Q? The Saints are determined to make the national media respect them. They earned it. Yeah, they earned it. They did a job today, man. I love what this was. And the thing is, how are they doing this? Is the Carolina, this is Dallas, is the Saints. It's the Saints. Because if you watch the tape, and we're going to cover it on Patreon on Tuesday, the fact that the Saints they're executing the blocking scheme. They're running the blocking scheme. This scheme fits the Saints personnel like a well-tailored suit. Now, I use the term tailored. If you ever had a tailored suit before, somebody to make clothes exclusively for you, it looked better than something you buy off the rack. It's made for you, and that's what this Clint Kubiak type system is. And you see, it makes different people look different. It make Adam Prentice actually look like a very good fullback, doesn't it? And not only that, but he's seeing the field more in different roles. You've seen a series where Taysom Hill was lined up like in 3 or 4 different plays. He was lined up differently for those plays, and Dallas didn't have an answer for it. They didn't know what was going on. He was lined up as a fullback, a wide receiver, then a running back, then a fullback. Here's Dennis Allen.
Guys made some plays. You know, I thought our guys did a pretty good job up front. You know, we kept the quarterback clean. We were able to run the football effectively. And so, you know, that was good offensively. I mean, defensively, you know, we knew this was going to be one of these games that, you know, they were going to get some yards at times. But the plan is to, you know, make them have to kick field goals when they got down there in the red area. I thought we did a good job of doing that. Played good red zone defense. And so, you know, the difference I think really was we were able to kind of score touchdowns on our drives, and we forced them to have to kick some field goals. And so I think that was, you know, a big part of the game. But, you know, obviously, you know, excited about getting the win against a good football team. And yet it's week 2 of the season, you know, so we still have a lot of things that we have to improve on. We'll get back to work tomorrow and start planning on Philadelphia.
Yeah, so you got to get a closer look at it, kind of really go into detail. But what were some of the keys to keeping their pass rushers just in check and not allowing them to become a huge factor in this game?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I think, part of it was we were able to run the football, and when you're able to run the ball, and you're able to put yourself in manageable, situations, you're not having to get into a drop back passing mode where they can just unleash their pass rush. I think Clinton, the guys had a good plan, for how they wanted to protect, in the passing game. And I think our offensive line did a good job executing.
Dennis, you've known Derek Carr for a long time. Is there something, or what would you identify as what it is about this offense that he seems so comfortable and relaxed in this offense? Is there something?
Yeah, look, I think he's been freed up a little bit in terms of not having to control every single thing on the line of scrimmage. He's able to really go out there and play. And I think, quarterbacks tend to play better when you're able to run the football effectively. And our offensive line has done a good job of protecting him. And I think that's always been the case, is I feel like when Derek is able to, be protected, then he's pretty good at throwing the football.
What do you make of Alvin?
I thought he was awesome again. Yeah, I thought really good. I thought he ran the ball well. Thought he ran the ball physical. Caught the ball on the screenplay. Like, there was a lot of good things that I saw. I mean, I think he's playing really good football for us.
Pretty adamant when training camp began that he wasn't necessarily an aging running back, that he felt fresh. Is that something you needed to see from him going into the season, or did you kind of agree with that?
I never felt like he was an aging running back. I felt like he was still an explosive player, and I think we're utilizing him in a way that allows him to, be effective. I think he's still one of those guys that if you create some space and he's able to operate in space, I think he's pretty good. But yeah, I thought he ran the ball well, and I thought caught the ball well out of the backfield.
And so my post was Tully Fuaga this morning, and Willie won't play, and anything he did out there,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think once we kind of got to the stadium, we felt like he was, going to be good to go. You never really know with a back. Sometimes that thing can flare up and cause some problems. And any of you guys that ever had, back issues or whatever, it's something that it's hard to kind of play through. So, but I thought he did a great job of playing through it. And for a rookie to really not practice during the week, and I can't tell you exactly how he played, but I'd say the fact that we were able to run the football and protect the quarterback, that I'd say he probably did okay.
Big post to Shaheed again. Looked like it was the first play that dropped.
Yeah, I thought protected it up. Shaheed ran by him. Derek put it in a perfect spot. Kind of the way you draw it up.
Yeah, it looks like you guys got these. I mean, obviously the team's really sharp, executing well. Early in the year, a lot of people talk about it being sloppy. That's not the case. What are you guys doing as coaches that kind of just has it so dialed in?
Yeah, I think it's twofold. I think it's, being detailed with the plan and exactly what we're trying to get accomplished, why we're trying to do things a certain way, and holding guys accountable to doing it that way. And I think when our guys see that they have success with that, then they begin to believe in the message and believe in the system and believe in the things that we're teaching. And then you get that cohesion that you really need to be effective as a team. And so, I think our guys know that if we play the way we're capable of playing and do the things that we know that we have to do for us to be successful, I think they believe that gives them a great chance to win.
Dennis, I'm sure Derek Carr worked diligently all season, both years he was here, but he talked about how tirelessly he worked to make sure he didn't start slow in a new system. Is there anything you saw in his approach that really stood out?
Well, look, he's always worked hard, so I mean, that's not anything new. I think as much as anything, Derek's been so much more visible around the building. A lot of times guys, especially as you get older and you have kids and families and all these kinds of things and other things that kind of pull at you, there's with the iPads and all this stuff, you can kind of do, your preparation at home. And yeah, you can get yourself ready, but there's something about everybody kind of seeing everything the same way. And there's something about everybody seeing, our best players in the building, watching tape and studying and getting themselves prepared. It's hard if you're a young guy or somebody like that, when you see a Derek Carr or an Alvin Kamara, one of these guys that's, in the building preparing, it's hard for them to think that it'd be anything less than acceptable for them to be doing that.
Dennis, this was a place that this team had won 16 straight regular season games here. You mentioned how your team was ready to play. I mean, could you sense, that this was, I don't know, maybe we talked about this being a big test for the team coming in.
This was a good football team that we played. And we were certainly ready to go play the game. And yet I don't think we looked at this as anything other than this is the next opponent on our schedule. And really it's about us. It's about us going out and doing the things that we know that we can do for us to be successful. And that's really what we focused on. And yeah, it's a really good football team that we just played. And so, hopefully our team will gain some confidence with that.
What was the plan with Steve Glenn today, especially with Marshawn being out?
Yeah, well, we knew that we had to try to take him away. Obviously he had the one big play in the game, but other than that, I thought we did a pretty good job on him of trying to take him out of the game. I think trying to eliminate this is a really explosive offense, and trying to eliminate the explosive plays, knowing that there's a chance that they can move the ball, and then how do we do a great job down there in the red zone and make them have to, kick field goals. I thought we were able to do that today.
How close was Marshawn to being able to play today?
Look, he wanted to play. That was really my decision, and it really boiled down to, I didn't want to risk what we think might be potentially, a 1 week deal, and him go out there, and now all of a sudden we turn 1 week into, 4 weeks. So that was a decision that I made, and he wanted to play. I think he was a little pissed at me that I didn't let him play.
Did you run out of game balls?
Huh?
Did you run out of game balls?
We haven't gone through that yet, but it was certainly a good win for our team.
Do you have any updates on Taysom?
Taysom had a chest injury, yeah, I think they took him for some extra evaluations. So he went to the hospital to be evaluated further. I think more precautionary, but we'll see how that goes.
In what sense they're making sure?
I don't really know exactly, to be honest with you. I just know chest injury, and they wanted to make sure that they went in and evaluated it further. Maybe some more imaging. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Alvin, you've often talked about knowing how it's supposed to feel around here. These last 2 weeks, does it feel as good as it kind of ever has? Just as far as execution and ability to run the offense.
Yeah, man. You see, when we're clicking like that, it's usually it's been a lot of complimentary football around here. Guys playing big time football, offensively, defensively, special teams wise. Just speaking for the offense, when you're able to go out there and execute, limit the self-inflicted wounds, have explosive plays, it's like the sky's the limit. So it feels good right now. Obviously, I know y'all know me. I'm not too into the hype, so it's a win, but we gotta keep moving.
Alvin, you know this city of New Orleans well. Mm-hmm. After what the city went through this week with the hurricane and all of that, do you get a feel for what this win means and will mean for the people in New Orleans this week? Oh yeah, man. I think it's tough anytime you hear the word storm in New Orleans, right? So that's just that word, I think, just sends kind of a shock throughout the city, anticipating and then going through it. So I know a lot of people kind of lost some stuff this week. Definitely feeling for them and prayers for them. But on the flip side, I know a lot of people that went through that storm and said they were still on the way to Dallas, so the support from the city is amazing. Like these people, they put their blood, sweat, and tears into this as much as we do.
So it's definitely refreshing and just it's real dope to see, like, you know, who that nation's still in support out here, no matter what's going on, you know, back at home. So definitely shout out to them.
You break down what happened on the big screen for the touchdown. You kind of break down what happened on that play.
Man, Clint called it right on time. O-line did their job, and I think we just had a great play. I mean, all the way around. It felt like a practice rep. It was just a great play call. The receivers did their thing. The O-line did what they were supposed to do. It was easy for me. I ain't even have to run really. So.
Do you feel like you got like more space just in this offense, like to make stuff happen?
Yeah, I think I definitely think so. I think, you know, we do a good job of designing plays. I think, you know, there's not too much new under the sun. You know, football is football. A lot of these plays, the terminology is just different, right? But the way you coach it and the way you install it and the belief that you instill in your players as coaches, as Clint, JB, Foster, these guys coaching us, the way that they put this in and describe it to us and kind of we just make it come to life. I mean, but the way that they install it, I think that, you know, everybody's kind of like all aboard. I mean, Tyron said something in our captain's meeting, in our captain's dinner. He said, like, just jump off the plane. So I think we just jumping off the plane with belief that, you know, when they call something, when Clint calls something, that, you know, if we do our jobs, we do what they tell us to do, that it's gonna work out.
Alvin, you said something last week. It felt good to see that success for Derek Carr because you guys see how hard he works.
Yeah.
What do you think people don't appreciate about how passionate he is about making this work?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm always honest. I think he got a lot, maybe more than he deserved, of shit last year. You know, and you know, I would be lying if I stood up here and told y'all that it didn't hurt him. I'm sure it hurt him, you know what I'm saying? Because I see what type of work he puts in, and I see the type of player that he is and the player that he wants to be and the type of teammate he is and the type of man he is. So, you know, like, for him to come out and perform, like, it almost feels better for me seeing that than, you know, me getting the success, because I know how hard he works. And I know, you know, the city's been hard on him. You coming in, you trying to fill the shoes of Drew Brees that's been, you know, that guy for so long. And I mean, that's hard for anyone to do, but, you know, I think Derek, he's taking on the challenge. He's working hard and he just wants to lead, you know, so, you know, we following the leader.
You see in the film room him taking a hit on a 60-yard TD pass now 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
When you review the film tomorrow, like, what does that do for you?
I mean, that's kind of the epitome of what we talking about, right? Like, he's a guy. Like, he's gonna deliver. He wants to deliver. So, you know, he'll sacrifice himself to go up there and you know, give Shee the opportunity to go score a bit, make an explosive play. That's just who he is. You know, I mean, I give him his flowers, you know, every day. But, you know, I don't want to sit up here and make it seem like he's a charity case. Like, man, he's a great quarterback, you know. So I'm happy that he's getting the opportunity to showcase that.
You get to see his dance.
Oh yeah. He came over and told me. He came over and told me. So I'm sure I need somebody to slow that down somewhere, and so we can have a clip of that.
It's not supposed to be this easy. I mean, you all scored on your the first team offense, the first 15 series this season.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel that good, you know, when you're out there, that you all can run and pass and, like you said, complement each other so well?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think it's just the belief that we have right now, not only in ourselves, but, you know, with Clinton and like I said, JB and Foster and Clancy and these guys installing this, you know, like they're putting us in position, and we're just going and just bringing it to life. We just set hut and we're going. So I think we got great ball players and we got great players, and when you got those two, man, I think the sky's the limit.
Alvin, back at the start of training camp, you're pretty adamant that you weren't like an aging running back. You still felt like you had a lot to think. So to show that through 2 weeks, I mean, how does that feel to show that you're still a guy?
It's no surprise to me, you know. I think, and like I said, I don't look at a lot of news and stuff like that. You know, I usually got to receive news from my brother or something, or my mom mad if somebody said something about me. But I feel good, you know. I said, and I mean this, like, I feel like I can play until I feel like I don't want to play. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. It's fun. I feel like we're winning. I like being here. I like being around my teammates. I love the city. Just keep going. I'm 29. I guess I'm old in football years, but I don't feel old.
Look, I know you don't pay attention to the news, but like a lot of people are talking about like Saints offensive line versus Cowboys front. Like, how are they going to hold up?
Oh.
I mean, like, what you think of their performance today?
I mean, the Cowboys is a good team, right? They got a good defense. But the whole week, and I say this every week, I don't care who we playing. It's faceless. It's a faceless opponent. If you get too caught up looking at who's across from you, you miss what you got to do, what your assignment is. You miss out on the work that you got to put in. So we just sit and we enjoy our process. And the O-line, I think they took it as a challenge because, like I said, it's a good team we're playing against, whatever team it is. But they took it upon themselves to come out and execute, and we were able to have the success we had because they executed. None of it. And I think a lot of people, they see me scoring touchdowns, she scoring touchdowns, and guys moving. None of it happens without those guys up front. So kudos to them. I mean, they balled their ass off.
Today you had like 3rd and 4 passing downs, and you're running it.
Mm-hmm.
What was your confidence? And you're converting it. What was your confidence getting to the edge on those plays?
Oh man, I went to Clint. I think it's just like I said, Clint just believing in guys, and then especially I told him I went and thanked him on the sideline. Like I told him, appreciate you, like stick it with me. He like, yeah, let's go score some more. So I think it's just an overall belief of like, shoot, when we call a play, it's because it's gonna be a positive play. Like whatever it's gonna get more than it's designed for, but the design is already amazing. So we're just having fun. Appreciate y'all.
Tyron, when you hear this team's already put up 91 points, which is 2 points shy of the Super Bowl team, like a team you watched through the first 2 games, like kind of how do you feel like putting that in perspective?
I mean, it's impressive. I probably say too, man, like those guys have been excited, since the spring, and, rightfully so. You know what I mean? I think Kubiak coming in here, just inspiring the group. You know what I mean? So, it's been one of those things. It's kind of fun to watch those guys, put up points because we know defensively, they'll put us in some, situations where we could, take advantage of the opportunity. So, yeah, I mean, it's just 2 games, but, we got like 15, 16 left. So, hopefully we keep it going.
Tyron, what makes a good red zone defense? DA was kind of talking about like we knew they were going to move the ball, but we're going to have to be.
Yeah. I think what makes a good red zone defense is, obviously, not allowing those guys to run the ball in the end zone, just forcing them to throw it, and I think on the back end, we got enough guys and, I think within the scheme, like, it's tough, you know what I mean? It's tough and not every quarterback could kind of, do it. And so, yeah, man, I think it's just us playing well together and, obviously coaching too.
Did you all come into this game yourselves wanting to see, this is kind of a gauge game in a way, Dallas Cowboys on the road, they haven't lost in 2 years here.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive, obviously. What those guys have been able to do at home, obviously it's not something to overlook. They got a lot of great playmakers, on their side of the ball, but like, I feel like as a Saints defense, like we can match up with any team that, in the NFL. So it's all about us, you know what I mean? And how we, just complement one another. And so obviously it was a great challenge, great opportunity, but nothing that like we haven't seen or, really wasn't ready for, you know what I mean?
What do you think of y'all's performance against CD today? Obviously at the one big play.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at Debo like, dog, we can never let that happen like ever again. You know what I mean? And we knew coming into the game, man, like the way they kind of center their offense around him, like he was going to have his opportunities to make his plays. Like we just kind of had to, have that mentality with him that, we might bend, but we can't break. You know what I mean? And so, outside of that one play, maybe 2 or 3 plays that he had, I felt like everything else we were kind of able to kind of, bottle him up and keep him in front of us. So, but yeah, that long play, that can never happen.
What'd you see in the pick?
Huh?
Your interception. What'd you see?
Man, you know what, man? Every now and then, the play call and the route combination kind of it gives you that opportunity. And, once I seen it, man, it was like I knew what play I was getting. This is all about getting to that catch point, and making a play. And so, I don't think it was anything, special that I did. It's just one of those situations where, the play.
How much do you feel the secondary has established physicality, like beyond the takeaways and things like that? There were a couple of big physical moments for the secondary. How much do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, like that's Saints defense. You know what I mean? Like that's the way they play. And the last few years it hasn't always felt like that. You know what I mean? And so this season it's been a lot of things that we've just kind of taken personal. You know what I mean? And it's kind of allowed us to come into camp, motivated and just kind of willing to do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? And so obviously I think we have enough of players on the whole defense, but especially the back end. I think we have enough guys that, like, we have tone setters, back there, guys that can make splash plays and impact plays and really kind of get the whole team, motivated and kind of, just moving in that direction. And so, like I said, man, it's just all about us kind of being who we are and just playing Saints defense.
You got a new kind of colleague back there with Will Harris. What's it been like with him these first couple games?
Man, it's been fun. Obviously it's always kind of that nervousness, that kind of worry, because I hadn't played with him, and so, but man, he's like one of those dudes that you can count on. You know what I mean? Like each and every day, just his mental capacity and his ability to kind of take the information from the classroom to the field and kind of apply it. Like everybody's not able to do that. Like, you know what I mean? So, and then he's physical too. Like he's one of those players that kind of knows what he's good at. You know what I mean? And those things that he's good at, like he's going to try to put those on display, each and every time. So, I kind of think he's like thunder and I'm lightning. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What did you think of Kool-Aid today?
Huh?
Kool-Aid?
Man, I knew Kool-Aid was going to be fine. Like Kool-Aid's been playing in big games since forever. You know what I mean? I keep saying it. Like he was coached by Nick Saban. Like he has some callous. Like he understands like, what it takes to kind of get his body and his mental, ready to play. So like, I know he's a young dude and obviously that's a great offense and great playmakers, but he was just one of those guys all week. Like I wasn't too worried about him. You know what I mean? Cause I know, like he's played for Alabama, like he's been under the lights before. So, but he played well. He played well, man.
All off season, the mantra has been from Dennis and the leaders on this team, just keep your head down and work. Don't worry about what the outside building thinks, outside noise and all that. I mean, what do you think you all proved in the first 2 weeks? Do you think you?
I mean, I don't know. I think we just kind of proved that, we could get off to a good start. I think, I don't want to put too much on it, but like, we know we recognize that not a lot of people believe in us. And so I think, the ability to just kind of, to focus on the people around you. And I think that's been good for us. Like, but obviously we love to play in these type of games, these type of moments. But yeah, man, like I think it's all about us and really what, we're able to do.
These two games feel similar because home against Carolina is supposed to be different for Dallas.
Yeah. It felt weird, man. Like, as you know, man, like you don't win games like this, to start the season too often. And so, obviously, we put a lot of work in, throughout training camp. And, I'm pretty sure we'll have our fair share of adversity, as the season goes. But it's just important, man, to kind of get off to a fast start. I think the last couple of years we were like, maybe 1 or 2 games outside of the playoff race. And, we think about a lot of early games that we played that we kind of let slip, over the past couple of years. So it's just a good feeling, to get off to a good start. But we kind of understand that, man, like we got another big game next week. And then after that, it's another one. And, it just keeps going. And so you got to be able to, just kind of clean the plate and learn what you can learn from wins and losses. And, just get back ready to get up on a horse, man, and kind of do it again.
Your perspective, what's it been like watching Derek thrive in this new offense?
I mean, it's always a good feeling. I think anytime you lose in this league, a lot of the blame is kind of placed on the quarterbacks. And, man, I'm impressed with him, just his level of commitment. And I think that's all you can ask of people, outside of doing their job is like, just stay committed, to the process, to your teammates. And, he's done a great job. doing that. And he took a lot of punches for us. I think the last couple of years as a team, we didn't play the way we wanted to play. And so, I think he was like was a bad beneficiary of, us just not winning games. And so, but he's been playing lights out, man. And like I said, you could see that happening, in the spring, when guys are like excited to come to work. You know what I mean? It's not like that on every football team, So, and he's done a great job. And, like I said, with him and Kubiak and just all those guys on offense, man, like you can tell every day that they're excited about what they're doing. And so I think as a team, man, it kind of runs through the locker room,
And then another about the offense, but from your perspective as a defender, how does Rashid's speed actually change kind of how a defense has to play?
Well, I always have a rule. Like when he's on the field, I back up to 25, 30. Like he has real speed. And I think his ability to track the ball in the air, man, like that's impressive. 50, 60-yard air balls. Not everybody can do that. And so I think anytime the offense, makes a big play like that to start the game, man, it's like instant juice, for everybody on the team. And so, hopefully they can keep that up.
Audition for returner a little bit?
Just trying to put the offense in the position to score, I played offense in high school, so I got a little bit to me, a little juice.
When you have a game that starts with, or it doesn't start, but includes like whistles on a couple of holding penalties and things like that, and then the play that Tyron had mentioned that turned into the big play for CeeDee Lamb, how do you put all that aside and go out there and make more plays like you did throughout this game?
Yeah, well, firstly, all praise to the Most High, and to those that came before me. Without them, they kind of paved the way. But as far as having penalties getting called early in the game, you kind of just know it's a long game, and to keep your same attitude, keep your same mindset. Some of those penalties, they're kind of close, right? So you kind of adjust a little bit. Oh, maybe I should be a little bit less aggressive. But at the same time, some of that just comes with playing the game, especially the way that we try to play and be aggressive on receivers.
How much pride do you take in your run backs? Seems like we've seen you a couple times over the last few years. Probably ran 90 yards.
Yeah, I think it's important to try to put the offense on the short field, to be able to kind of capitalize on those turnovers and get points out of them. So also anytime I can show my speed, I feel like that's a plus for me. So
do you feel like you guys do a good job just like capitalizing on opportunities? The ball's there, you make it play?
Yeah, for sure. I think we have a lot of great guys on the back end that can all play the ball and all have playmaking ability. So that's something that we've kind of prided ourselves on as far as capitalizing and making the most of those opportunities when they do come.
And what do y'all think about y'all's plan with CeeDee Lamb today? Kind of outside of the one play, kind of limiting his impact.
Yeah, me and Ty had a play that we wish we could get back, but I think overall we kind of stuck to what the game plan was and the game plan that our coaches put in place, and then we got guys like Kool-Aid, locking up. And so shout out to him too for getting his first start and coming in and playing incredibly, which we knew he would. But yeah, I think altogether we just kind of stuck to the game plan.
What's the confidence level right now in the locker room?
The confidence level is always high. I think when we start to win games on the outside, you guys kind of get a feel, and I think y'all's confidence starts to, increase or whatever. But I think within our team, going through training camp, going through spring training, we kind of have a feeling of how good we can be, and we're just trying to get better every week.
What do y'all do particularly well in the red zone today? I think they went 0 for 3 trips on.
Yeah, I think anytime you can create negative plays and kind of get a team behind the sticks, that helps. Just playing hard, just defending every last blade of grass, which is what we like to say. So even on the end around, I think Tay had a great play stopping that. And those plays, as far as when the offense gets into the red zone and you just keep making them play, one more play, and kind of, T had said, bend, don't break mentality is just trying as hard as we can to keep them out. Just because you get down here, doesn't mean you're guaranteed to score. So.
Thank you.
Perfect. Appreciate you.
How much time was spent in front of the mirror working on that Michael Jackson?
See, that's not much time in front of the mirror. I'm a dancer in my day, and so don't let the 4 kids fool you. I had to lure their mom in somehow. You know what I mean?
you have to explain what that was to Hainer and Rath? Do they have any idea what you're
Yeah, good. That's a really good point. But to their credit, they knew who he was, and so yeah, that's a good question. I should have used that one.
It's not supposed to look this easy, the way you're all moving offensively, especially early in the year. See around the league, scoring's down.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's going on?
I don't have the answers for everything. I don't know why scoring is one way or why this or that. All I know is that we believe in one another, and we had a really hard off season. We had a really hard training camp. You ask anybody in there, it was the workouts, the practices. It was tough. It was really hard, but it led for moments like this. And so, there were probably days where we were pissed at DA or something like that. For man, gosh, pads again. This, like all football players gripe about. But I guarantee you now, every single man in that locker room is thankful for those hard days, for the way that we've started this year. But again, we're thankful for the start. Get off to a fast start, but as we all know, like next week's a whole different test. So,
I said this before, but going against that defense in practice every day, how helpful is that just to get a fast start, knowing that days you struggle, you're struggling against this thing.
Yeah, 100%. I think, y'all saw it best, like the back and forth during camp, or during OTAs, whatever, and. Like, wow, that's pretty cool. Or, hey, man, the defense looks good now. Or, hey, the offense made some play. And usually when it's back and forth like that, especially when it's a good defense, it's a good sign for your offense. And, for us, what a challenge every single day that you wake up. Like, you have to set your mind to come compete against them, And it 100% helped us as a football team. The way that they attack the football, the way that they, make the windows tight. We had some tight window throws today, and I just remember just throwing that rep in practice, and I see it in the game today, and it's like, man, I'm thankful for, Debo and Tay and Marshawn being that close on the coverage. I'm thankful for that because then when we get in the game, we're used to that. And there's so many examples, but yeah, going against our defense all year definitely made us a better football team on offense.
I get the impression you've always worked hard in the offseason, but you talked about your recognition that you wanted to start best in this offense. Was there anything that you did that you would consider different than what you have done in practice?
Yeah, I kind of hit on it in camp, before, OTA practice or before training camp practice, me and JT would go out. I'd just ask him, be like, hey, meet me out there early. And Trailer would come out there and he would go through the whole practice for me. Cause I've been through, not being funny, but I've been through learning offenses a lot. And I'm like, man, how do I start faster this time? How can I be better this time? Than I've ever been, at starting in a new offense. And I was like, I always learn it. I always, know it, but it's the reps. And so we were doing double practices. I would run through the practice, all my reps, and then we'd take about 10 minutes, take a break, and then start the real practice. And so it was really just getting those extra reps in, and a lot of extra meetings, a lot of extra time. I'm sure Clint was really tired of me coming back up there every day, but I promised our team and I promised our city I would do everything in my power. And I was not going to be perfect, but I was going to do everything in my power, exhaust everything that I could even begin to imagine to try and just be better this year. And so far, we've started off good.
Derek, on the flip side, Dennis Allen thinks one of the things that's helped you is taking some things off your plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you said part of the reason you chose to come here is you want a lot on your plate. Is that
it's
someone
funny.
have to tie you down and force you to do that, or did you see the light in that? Or what?
Oh yeah, it definitely. I had to bite my tongue a lot, because I'm so used to playing a certain way, and but change isn't always a bad thing, And again, excuse me, there's things that Clint lets me, communicate with him, and there is some say so. It's not like I'm just standing back there with my hands behind my back, But it is a lot different than what I'm used to. But I'm thankful for it because there's like this happy medium, of doing what we're doing and doing the things that I want to do and the way that my mind works. But also me, taking a step back and saying, okay, what's best for our team? What's best for me? What's best for everybody around me? Yeah, maybe, Derek can do that, but can all the other 10 handle that, and that? It's different for everybody. It's just not just how my brain works, how everybody's brain works. And so there's a lot of things that sometimes you got to take a step back as a leader and say, okay, what's the best thing for all of us? And they've done a great job of just letting me be free and just let me be, me, just be an athlete, go play quarterback. And so far it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun.
Is there something about this offense that fits what you do well, like that marriage? And can you identify what that is? I mean, certainly the numbers would seem to back that up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So that's a tough one to answer for yourself. I've been comfortable in everything that I've ever done. There's some things that I prefer to do than others. And in this offense, it allows me to do a lot of the things that I like to do. I'll say it that way. There's a lot of, without getting too into it, I don't want anyone knowing what I like and what I don't like. But, there's a lot of things in this offense that the way Clint does things and the way he sets me up for success, puts me in positions for success. It allows me to, do a lot of things that I enjoy doing as a quarterback. And so, today we had there was a protection thing. Usually, we don't. I was able to do a protection thing, and so I'm still able to be myself, but within this system. And so it's been a really cool marriage of that. And me and Clint just getting to know each other. We're only 2 games in, and so we're still learning each other. There's questions last night. I was like, you want this one on this hash, or what are you thinking? If you call this, do you want me to? There's still those questions. We're still learning each other and getting better, but he's still putting me and our guys in position to be comfortable and be successful.
Post again to Shaheed.
Uh-huh.
Was it the same look as last week, or was it a different look?
It was cloud to his side, which is insane that he outran that. Cloud to his side, quarters on the left, my left, and I don't even know. I mean, God blessed him to be able to run really fast, and I just prayed that ball got there because he was I came out of that fake with the coverage, and I was like, I'm thinking Chris all the way. Like I'm gonna have to throw this on to Chris unless the corner gets there. I'll check it down. And as soon as I turn around, I saw Shaheed already that far down the field. I was like, holy crap, he's outrunning him. Like the play. Everyone's gonna see it. Wow, what a play! The way he ran and the angle he took was so just elite. Like I just wanted to hug him. Afterwards, like thank you so much for seeing that the way that you saw that. Because I saw it and I'm like, please see it. And he hit it and I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy, he's different. He's a game changer for sure.
You think of his ability his ability to track a ball, and because those aren't easy to catch.
No doubt. Especially when some of those I throw in early. I'm throwing them really high too, so it's hard to gauge them when they're really high too. Especially with that state, the lights are so bright. For those guys, it's all that stuff matters, and for him to be able to track them every time and be able to make a play on that football is really impressive. I think a lot of guys can run fast, but a lot of guys can't track the ball, so it's really good catch by you because he's really good at that.
That was actually going to be my question, so I'll shift to a different one. Look, the offensive line got a lot of criticism this offseason. A lot of people wondering if they were going to hold up against a very talented defensive front. So to see him through 2 weeks, I think only 2 sacks for you, 5 yards of rushing offense. I mean, what do you think about the way those guys have played?
Yeah, same thing I've been saying to y'all. I'm just really proud of them, because no one they see the outcome, but they don't see the work that they put in, and the cohesiveness that they have and the bond that they have and the time they're spending together, the unity. That I'm just really proud of them. And we just got to keep that same mindset, keep that same mindset, keep the same chips on our shoulder, and just keep going. But I'm really proud of those guys, the way that they're playing.
Derek, what you were talking about with the going out before practice with the script, how did you kind of arrive at that conclusion that might work? Like, did you want to tell, like, did you advise, or how did you kind of reach, like, I should try this? Yeah,
I mean, I take advice from a lot of people. The people that I care about, Drew's one of them. I talk to him a lot. Peyton's another one. And I'm thankful for those guys for giving me hours of their time during the offseason. And one of the things that I would hear while they were saying is just it's the reps, those reps. And I was like, well, how does that – okay, that's awesome. How does that translate for me, And the reps thing is like I always felt more comfortable towards the middle and end of seasons. And I was like, well, what if I just get more reps beforehand? Like, I don't know, like try everything, and it ended up helping. And so to where I just feel more comfortable at the beginning of the year starting in a new offense. But definitely credit to those guys, asking them questions and then, really not just asking them questions to ask them, but like these are Hall of Famers, asking those guys questions, picking their brain. And I'm so thankful for their time that they gave me because they poured into my life and it's benefited our team, and I appreciate that.
You started doing that as early as OTA.
I'm sorry?
You started doing that with
Yeah, I think it was. I can't remember what practice exactly, but I was like, it was that. Yeah.
So did that like golf outing with Drew kind of lead to that at all? Since you were spending hours with him, and he's kind of known for taking mental reps. Like, was that one of the things you'll discuss?
We were definitely talking about it. I think we were on the phone before that. We had talked like really close to after the season, and then during the golf outing, we were more hanging out, having fun, and still talking about things. But I'll forever be grateful for the advice he gave. Anything you can get from those guys, it's like gold for a quarterback. And so they definitely helped me for sure.
You scored on your first 9 possessions last week. Today you scored touchdowns on your first 6. And you ran for 180 yards in both games. I mean, did this feel like a replay of last week? Did that kind of success?
Yeah, I felt we were able to run the football, and anytime you can run the football and win the line of scrimmage, every coach is going to talk about it. Everyone's going to preach it till they're blue in the face. But our guys, they've just been executing really well up front. And in football, you go as the trenches go. And our guys have bought into the system. We bought into the culture, the coaching, and you see the work paying off. You see what our guys have done, what our offensive line and our tight ends and our backs, our receivers, what all those guys have done in the first 2 weeks is really incredible and really selfless. You see Shaheed in there throwing his hat in there, getting a block. We'll all talk about the touchdown. His Madden rating will go up, and I'll go, great, yeah, awesome. But his willingness to go throw his hat in there, Chris's willingness to go throw his hat in there on a weak side run and take 3 guys out last week. Everyone's like, well, the man made the play of the day, making that block on that run. This game is a team game. It's a selfless game. And when you're a team and when you're selfless, these kind of days can happen. And our guys are fully bought into that. And for me, it just as one of the leaders of this team, that makes me so happy to see. Because you never know whose days it's going to be, who's going to have the big day. And to see our guys buy into that the first couple of weeks has been really cool.
You notice the differences in how you guys been able to get that element out of space? Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot in the system, just the plays, the design, things like that. That, again, you talk about a hard worker. That guy's unbelievable, the way he finishes in practice and things like that. But, it's really the design of things. Just, I really believe Clint and those guys, do a really good job of just, the playmakers in space, the speed, going this way, going that way, covering the, whole field, sideline to sideline, goal line to goal line, just putting speed everywhere and getting guys in space. And our guys do a really good job of that.
You guys have converted a handful of third and mediums with the run game.
Yep.
What's confidence in that? I mean, you see a lot of teams pass in those situations.
Yeah, absolutely. You get different looks on third down, and DA has a lot of trust in us to go for it on fourth down. And they, there's times where he's like, "Hey, we're gonna kick the field goal here," and I know that on third down, so I know that based on my decision. Or I hear, "Hey, we got 4 downs." Okay, well, if the run's there, great. We can still run the football here. And a lot of teams have crazy blitz pressures, but we got to do a good job of getting on their side of the field or in what we consider our 4 down territory to be able to run the ball like that and be able to make plays like that. And so when our guys execute them and all that, it helps the offensive line. Like I said, being able to do that on third down helps the O-line. It helps. There is like balanced football, like situationally, not just play call wise too. That right there is gold to us. And so, again, we've been in a lot of those situations where it's, hey, we got 4 downs here. I'm like, shoot, run it. If we get the look, you get lighter boxes, you get the speed guys coming on the field as the big guys are jogging off. That's a good time to run it, and maybe there'll be a time where we don't even run it one time, but just depends on. Every game's going to be different, but so far, just the way things have played out, we've been able to hit a couple of those.
Going back to the level of buy-in, what does it say about Tyler Blowout making himself available today?
Yeah, awesome. I hugged him, said I love you. I said thank you for battling through it. Especially with the way people are wired nowadays. I was taught if it works at all, you'll be out there. And to see that in a young guy was really impressive because you never know. I've seen some crazy things in my 11 years, but when he stepped out there, I said, "You gonna be good?" And without a hesitation, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be good. I'll be there." And he went out and he competed and he played really well. To see that from a rookie in his second game against a really good defense, against a really good football team, it says a lot about him, and our teammates should be really thankful that he's on our football team.
Derek, I know you already touched on the touchdown celebration, but how did that come up with your brothers? Like, did they throw ideas at you?
No, I'm a dancer. People don't know a lot of stuff about me, but they see me like all the time at weddings or birthdays and music. I'm always dancing, and so one time I hit the Michael Jackson. They were like, "Bro, you got to do that when you score one time." So I did it, and they made an edit, and I posted it. And that's how.
Is that where the insurance commercial comes from? I've seen that video.
Yes, so it's a bank commercial, and Virgin.
His dance, and I would like to see what he was saying, but they didn't want you to hear the advanced word salad for that one. All right, so big ups to the fam, man. We're gonna keep this thing rolling, man. Big ups to the fam. I'm gonna bring Pops Q in a second to have this breakdown and talk about the Annihilation. Saints annihilate the Dallas Cowboys. Let me get the title right. First of all, shout out to all of the family members that have been tuning in for this entire broadcast, pre-game, during game, halftime, post-game. That's where we are right now in the post-game recap. Saints annihilate Prideful Cowboys 44-19. They're now 2-0. Eagles up next. Saints have the Eagles up next. Eagles play the Falcons at home, meaning they're at home. Philly's at home Monday night. So we'll get a little scout work going on with that. 44-19. We covered all of the statistics early on. Let me do this right quick before we bring Pops Q in here, man. Let me show some stuff, man. Let's go to Twitter, shall we? It's pretty much just a film right here. This is the Who Dat Nation taking over Cowboy Station. Y'all see that? The Who Dats are running Cowboy Field. Second lining in the Cowboys building. Second lining. How you love that? Don't listen, man. You might consider yourselves America's team, but if any team is the most high team, it's most certainly the New Orleans Saints. And we put hands on them today, and we prayed first. We says, God, please. We put hands on them, then we begin to make them touch every part of the turf as respectfully and as gently if we possibly can. We were very humble in our evisceration, and we did what we were supposed to do. As you can see, this is the brother, another black and gold man, talking to the cowboy. Look at his sister. Let's see what he said. I can't hear what he said. It's too loud, but whatever he's saying, they don't want to hear it. Hey, Kamara, look at this one. This is perfect. This is just what happened. We made their home our home. Didn't I tell y'all, man? The Saints, when the Saints went to Dallas, I told you, I said, fam, the building might be Jerry's World, whatever they call it. But at the end of the day, the field is neutral. If you possess and take control of the field, it quiets everybody down. And that's what you seen with the brother was talking to the Cowboy people they weren't trying to hit as the Saints were running over him. Now look at Kamara just laid back chilling. He made their home his home. 4 touchdowns from Alvin Kamara today. 3 running, 1 catching. He was phenomenal, man. And I warned those guys about Alvin Kamara. What did I tell them, family? I said, they're big. I said, Derek Carr is the least of your worries. What you going to do with Alvin Kamara? What you going to do with Taysom Hill? I told him that. I basically gave him the game plan and told him you can have a scheme, but if you don't have the players necessarily to operate the scheme, it don't matter. You can know what we're going to do, but you still got to stop us. They couldn't do it. The Saints ran all over these people, man. So this was good. Then this is another fantastic photo right here, fam. Look at this beauty. Look at this nice little nugget right here. Look at this one, fam. Look at this nugget. Look at this poor gentleman. Look at this dude right here. This dude surfing the web right now, man. All right, 44-19. Look at Dak Prescott. It was a picture. Y'all send me that picture, man. It was a picture of Dak Prescott bucking his damn eyes. Y'all remember that picture I was doing? It was doing the thing. He was bucking his eyes. That go Carr with the Michael Jackson. Oh my goodness, man, it's too much. And shout out to our guy right here. You can see right here, Steve Gleason was watching the game, man. Much love to Steve Gleason. You know, he had a medical situation, but they're just letting you know that Steve Gleason, he kicked back, healing up, watching the Saints eviscerate the Dallas Cowboys. So shout out to Gleason, man. Saints put in that work, man, and the effort, man. So like I said, you can look at right here. Fox had this beautiful graphic right here. Derek Carr, 11 of 13 for 243 yards. It was actually 11 for 16 for 243, 11 for 16 according to I think it's ESPN. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He did call his own number for a rush touchdown. Kamara had 20 carries for 115 yards and 3 touchdowns in the game. He also was doing some wonderful work as well. So much love on that. This was fantastic. And Rashid Shaheed, 4 catches, 96 yards in the score. At every level, and I told you, fam, what do we call these people? What do we call them? We call them MMNs, which are mismatch nightmares. That's what we call these people. And they were unstoppable. All of our mismatch nightmares had big contributions in this game. You can't stop all of them. And I told them that. This is unlike any offense you'll see. And y'all remember this guy? One more thing before we get bring. Y'all remember this dude? Remember this dude? Y'all remember this guy? This guy right here, we was on the Saints preview stream. Look at the look on his face. It's not the same cocky, prideful look that we seen the other day when he was calling the Saints trash and all this kind of stuff. This brother was eating his comeuppance. Let's hear what Brother Rome had to say. Look at his face.
Humbled. Humbled.
Yeah.
Humbled. You see that sign? Humbled. I need to say a couple things before I get going.
Gotta let it own out. Come on.
Before I get going.
Yeah, come on.
Apologies to Purple Crayon and to Fred Savage. Them the 2 Saints fans that I was making fun of. Your team.
Come on.
Broke us in half.
Come on. Come on.
Nothing to say. No excuses will be provided. Just explanations. Let me say that again. No excuses will be provided. Just explanations. We will explain why we got beat down.
Oh, no, you don't have to, brother. We already know. We already know what happened there. This is what you call eating crow live. If you never see like you, what is it like to see somebody eat crow live? I just played you something broke us in half. Wasn't even half. Bro, listen, no, we didn't break you in half, bro. We broke you into millions of pieces. It wasn't a half break. It wasn't a broken. No, Rome. Even that, you're dialing it back. It is not. We didn't break the Saints half. That would, the Cowboys half. That would infer that we broke you into 2 pieces. No. We broke you into a million pieces, and y'all asked for it. Y'all shouldn't be running around here being prideful like that, saying the Saints are garbage and all this kind of stuff. And then pride comes before the fall. Then I have to show. Look at the man's face. Look at his face. Oh, poor Rome. You asked for it, brother. You asked for it, baby. You got what you listen. They wanted me to talk to him, baby. Listen, I told him. I said, baby, listen, baby, I told you. Baby, don't play with God's children, baby. Don't do. Baby, I tried to tell him I was quiet. But baby, let me tell you something, baby. Baby, you got it, God. You got it handed to you, baby. Baby, you got it handed to you, baby. Baby, listen, baby, let me tell you. Baby, we put hands on you, baby. We prayed before we touched you, baby. Baby, we put hands on you first, baby, and made you touch everything on the field, baby. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, baby, but you was in the way. Baby, you was in the way. We made you. We put hands and prayed before we got you out of there. Baby, don't do it to yourself, baby. Baby, don't do it. We here, baby. We gonna do this, baby. Shout out to the Who Dat Nation, man. We handled the business. And this, like I said, the prideful people of the Cowboys Nation, man. My goodness, these people asked for this. You should have seen all the comments, everything. And then all they do at the end of all the talking is look like this brother did. Hey, they look like that brother Rome, or they look like some of these people right here. So all that talking, all it did was got you to end up looking like in this here. Look at them guys. Look. This guy got his shirt over his face. This guy surfing on the web somewhere. And this dude here like, oh my goodness, man, I spent my day this morning going to this and doing this. How did they do it? Yes. Like I told them, listen, y'all, you got the chest all puffed up with pride. You can't do that when you're dealing with a Saints team that has beaten you 11 times since 1998. Out of 15 matchups, the Saints have won 11 out of 15 games since 1998. That means there's something to it in the matchup when the Saints come. And then we beat you in their building and beat them pretty much worse than what we did the Carolina Panthers. They ran for more on the Cowboys and all that disrespectful stuff about Carolina, and only to get 40 burgered and end up looking like these gentlemen here. Or this brother right here. Look at his eyes bucking. He's in a state of eye bucking disbelief. All right, so anyway, big ups to the rest of the family members here, man. We're going to bring in Pops Q. Let me get these super chats out the way. Head Trauma said, I love the look on Zimmer and McCarthy's face. Yeah, they was. I was telling y'all, Zimmer didn't have his teeth in. That's why the calls were not clear of what they were going to with defense. His teeth, he was gumming and chewing the cud. He did not have his teeth in. He was constipated. You know, he was bending over, looking crazy. His face was flushed. You know, he was just out of it. I feel sorry for the old gentleman. All right, thank you, Trauma. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Tasha, who's a Cowboy fan, says, Q, can you allow Sean to sleep on you? No, Tasha. No, you can't do Sean like that. That's wrong. Baby, let me talk to you, Tasha. Baby, that's wrong. What you just said there, baby. Baby, Tasha, I'm talking to you. Reverend Saint is talking to you now, baby. Baby, you can't do that, baby. Baby, you wrong for that, baby. Baby, listen. Baby, you are wrong for that. Sean team beat your team, baby. He deserved to talk to you because I'm pretty sure, baby, you were talking to him crazy. Baby, you can't do that. Baby, don't be prideful because pride comes before the fall, baby. Baby, did you hear me? No, you can't do that, baby. That man won. His team beat your team, baby. Baby, you gotta take that, baby. Baby, lift yourself up, baby. And understand that the Saints won, baby. And the Cowboys didn't, baby. Baby, you can't do that, baby. You're wrong. And Sean, baby, is right. Yes. All right. Shout out to you. Thank you, Tasha. I had to let Reverend Say talk to you right quick. Reverend Say had to talk to Tasha right quick, man. He's like, hold on, baby. Let me talk to her. All right, damn. Reverend Say, you got it. You got, yeah, baby. Baby, listen, you can't do that. That's wrong. Wrong, baby. Baby, you lost. And he won, baby. So you got to raise yourself up, baby. That's how it go, baby. Yeah, the old Reverend said to step in there. All right, so big ups to you. William, what's up, bro? I said, yeah. Parsons who? DeMarcus who? Yes. Who? CD who? Yeah, who that? Baby, who that?
Thank you. Get fucked too kind.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Listen, man. Listen. This is beautiful. Because, like I said, man, look at Rome's face. This is a guy that's not only eating crow, but in a state of disbelief why he's eating crow. That was totally not the same gentleman I showed y'all on Friday, which called the Saints trash, said that we should skip your team because your team is trash, you garbage, whatever he was saying. And then we talked to Rome on the show. Shout out to my brother Rome. And then Rome didn't say none of the stuff that he said on the Friday stream. And then the next day or the next stream he did, he went back to his Friday ways. And now today he's eating crow. That's why technology, baby, is so beautiful. You can see a man eating crow live. Yeah, what it look like? Yes. He looks constipated too. It must be a flu going on in Dallas because all they people look constipated. That was. Don't look at me like that. You talk that shit.
Humbled. Humbled. I should make sure y'all can see. Humbled. You see that sign? Humbled.
Yeah. Y'all got humbled today. Y'all got humbled. Yeah, I love the eye bucking. That makes me laugh even more so. Eating crow while your eyes are bucking is a very funny thing for a winning team, a losing team to do. Eat crow with eye bucking hilarity. That's what it is. All right, brother Rich, shout out to you. Says, yeah, Q, we kicked their drums in their behinds. Yeah, that's a hard ask.
Thank you. Get fucked too kind.
All right, thank you, brother. Oh my goodness. All right, shout out to you too, Muse. Much love for Muse with the super chat, the Cash App. Muse, much love, baby. She's for the 30 burger. She says, thank you, Big Q and fam. Thank you for the Cash App, Muse. Much love to you. Appreciate you, Queen. Thank you so very much, man. Appreciate you. Much love.
Thank you. Get fucked too kind.
Oh man, you know what, fam? I love it. Eye bucking, crow eating hilarity. That's what I call it. When you this right here, we might need to freeze. You might need to. I want y'all to capture this.
Explanation.
I want y'all to capture this stuff here. Dude, that man looked like he's seen a ghost, man. Yeah, he's seen a ghost. Look at his eyes, man. It's and then he had had to let the air out. Crow eating eye bucket hilarity. That's what I call it. Absolutely funny. That's funny. Don't y'all find that hilarious? Anyway, man. All right. Yeah. You see that look on it? I think that's really funny, man. I love that look because it's totally different than the look that we was getting before, where it was all confident and everything, the eye bucking and all that kind of stuff. I love that. All right. Let's see. Rich says, Q. All right, he says, Q, that look when you lose. Yeah, it says when you lose the rent money. I'm laughing, man, because they did this to themselves. They did this and nobody told them to get up there and be talking like this. Why are you doing that?
Humbled.
And it says humble. Hey, well, you got humbled. No, it's not humble. You got humbled. You got humbled. It's more than just being humbled. We beat them silly. We beat these people silly in their own building. We really, knocked them around. Saints 2-0, 44-19. Like I said, it's funny because it is funny because you basically you're using their words against them, which it's a state. It's just hilarity, man. We using their words against them. Out of all of the stuff they were saying, they basically getting their words used against them, which is funny to me. All right, Pops, you good to go, man? Can you hear us? All right, can you hear us?
I can hear you, son.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
How about you?
All right. I'm good, man. Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, man. Welcome in, Pops. Hey, listen, let's talk to us about, I knew you seen a game, man. I was picking a little fun at one of the Cowboys people, man, that came on the stream. They were talking some big smack, and you seen a virtual case of him eye bucking, eating a humble pie, eating the crow live and virtual. I think that's probably the first time I ever seen a dude sit up there and eat crow with his eyes bucking. I just hey, Pops, ain't technology grand? We got to see a Cowboy fan set up there eating crow live.
I understand. Man, I've been cracking up all before you said that. I've been cracking up all the things you saying. But it's true.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, anyway, it was total beatdown. The Saints were crisp from the start. They executed extremely well the first two or three times they had the football. They didn't make any mistakes. They didn't fumble. They had one turnover that I can remember on the tip. But other than that, they shredded Dallas's defense, especially that long ball. I think that was one of the things that broke their heart, that long pass to Shaheed. It was right on the money. I mean, pinpoint, perfect throw. And then the running game took off. The three-headed monster took off the running game. They did well. I tell you what, I was hoping that they would beat Dallas. And I figured that it might be a close game, but I never anticipated that it would be like this, a total blowout like it was today. I am totally surprised, but I am impressed with the new offensive coordinator.
Indeed, Pops. I mean, the man was terrific, man. His play calling and
yes.
And what do you think about the fact that the Saints are using with this offense with Clint Kubiak, what he's doing, the rust factor? Talk to us about the fact that this is like week number 2, and the Saints doesn't exhibit to showing any rust offensively speaking, or even any defensive rust at all. The Saints held the team to one offensive score this year. I mean, in terms of the defense. So we knew the defense was going to be good. The offense is not this team is not showing any rust factor at all. It's almost like they've played a month worth of games and are totally in their bag right away. What's your thoughts on the non-rust factor we're not seeing from the Saints?
Well, one thing, the execution of the plays, much more crisp, quick. They don't give the defense time to think. On some of the running plays, the touchdown, the first touchdown from Kamara looked like he was shot out of a cannon. The second one that he made, nobody touched him. He went right straight through to the end zone. It's just the execution is so much crisper, and they're putting some wrinkles in there that's confusing the defense. I've seen there was some confusion in Dallas's defense. This is not the way that Dallas expected the Saints to play. So he caught them by surprise. See what I'm saying? They were totally caught off guard.
Right.
Totally caught by surprise when the way they executed. It was just, they look beautiful. They look like a football team that similar to the 49ers, the way the 49ers use all kinds of gadget plays sometimes, and to trick the defense, of the other team. They've done that to us a couple of times, the way the San Francisco 49ers play. Well, it seemed like to me they were doing some of the same plays, just like the offense of the 49ers. And they just executed everything so crisp. There was no fumbles, no turnovers. Everybody did the job. And I'm telling you what, I'm really proud of him. As for that fellow sitting there, I'm looking at up there, that he gonna have that look on his face for a while, because that was a total beatdown. It really was. So if you're gonna talk smack, make sure your team can do what you say they're gonna do, and then otherwise you have to hush and keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, shout out to Rome, man. Yeah, he
Hey, son, you can't talk too good when you got fellas and all that in your mouth and biting that crow. Fellas flying all out your mouth. How you gonna talk?
Hey, Pops, they should be smart enough to know how to shave the damn thing before they cook it and eat it.
That's right.
Oh man. Hey, Pops, Honest Abe says that is the look of cognitive dissonance coming home to roost.
That's coming home to crow. You gotta be careful.
Man.
You don't know what the Saints. They figured the Saints were going to play a type like they usually do, just vanilla plays. But the Saints hit them with really quick, crisp plays before the defense can really react. They were able to run the football, which is one of the number one things that they like to do. They know that to make their offense really go, they have to run the football, and the offensive line was blocking outstanding. So this offensive line that they put together really did the job and helped them to get the victory that they got today.
Indeed, Pops up.
Along with the defense, because the defense was outstanding. Held them to field goals at that one long bomb, and I think the reason that they got that bomb because one of our defensive backs missed the tackle. He had his hands on him, but he couldn't bring him down, and I think that's how they got that touchdown. If it wasn't for that, they might have not scored any touchdowns. They were totally shut down. And the defensive coordinator for Dallas, he was befuddling. The offensive coordinator for Dallas couldn't do anything because Dak didn't have time to do anything. And when he had time to do, he was overshooting people. He had a couple of interceptions. He threw one interception right to one of our guys. So, they just had a bad game, and they got to pick up their bootstraps and get that crow out of his mouth and go back to work.
Oh man. Hey, Pops, these Dallas Cowboy people, boy, they could talk, man. They was talking all this stuff. They were being very disrespectful.
I know. I heard some of them making them kind of comments. I didn't say nothing. I said, all right. Let them talk. All right.
Hey, Pops, I said the old biblical wise term that rings true is that pride comes before the fall.
That's right. Pride comes before the fall. Because see, all of a sudden, and then they played at a time where they're not used to playing. They usually used to playing late at night in the evening time, and then they got that 12 o'clock game, and I think that had something to do with befuddling them up. They couldn't execute hardly anything. Which I'm glad because the Saints hung 44 on them. So they couldn't. They was out of the game at halftime.
That's right. That's right. They were saying that the Saints will not 40 burger the Cowboys. We're going to 40 burger the Saints. We're going to 40. I said 40 burger who? 40 burger.
What the hell is a 40 burger?
That's what we got. Saints put 44 on them, 44-19. They hung a 40 burger. We was last week. Let me ask you this, Pop. You watching both the games, the Cowboys win of week 2 and the Panthers win of week 1. Which win? We ain't talking about the standard of the ranking of the team, but which win looked more impressive to you?
I'd have to go with the Cowboys win because you'd expect that Dallas in their building would have put up more points or would have been able to do more offensively than Carolina. I mean, you could expect Carolina's got a young quarterback, starting quarterback, and the Saints kept heat on him. And I didn't really expect them to lose to Carolina, but Carolina was like practice. Now, this is when they played Dallas. Well, you figure Dallas would have put up more of an offensive threat against the Saints, but they were totally confused. The Saints ran the ball extremely well. They passed the ball extremely well. There were some interceptions. The Saints defense really put pressure on Dak in the Dallas offense. He basically shut their run game down. They had a couple of little small, good-sized runs, but that was it. They shut them down, kept them out the end zone, except for that one missed tackle play that allowed Lamb to get to the end zone with that one play. But other than that, they were shut down. They were shut down completely. They held them to field goal.
Yep. Yeah, that was a bunch of field goals.
Held field goals. Wasn't nothing they can do. And that fella that I'm looking at right now, he got a right to be befuddled like that because he didn't expect to see the Saints tear their behinds up. The Saints just went out there and did their business. But this is a new look Saints team. I'm telling you, it looks totally different from last year. Totally different.
It definitely is, and that's the thing that a lot of people know about is when you talk about the New Orleans Saints offense. That was the question mark. What could Clint Kubiak do for the Saints offense? And you, from the potential standpoint, people was like, okay, what he did with San Fran as the passing game coordinator, could he make that offense work for the Saints? You look at the weapons, the Christian McCaffrey comparisons to Alvin Kamara are warranted, as Kamara had a phenomenal game. He had 4 touchdowns today, 1 catching, 4 running. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You talk about Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill had average. He was doing this thing. He had a chest issue that Dennis Allen talked about where he just going to the hospital to get checked out. So prayers to Taysom Hill, make sure he's all right.
Right.
Jamal ran really good in the game as well. So the Saints running attack, even though Derek Carr, the quarterback, is looking really good, Derek Carr is making some really good throws out there. Outside of that, it's a lot of the running attack. The Saints almost had 200 yards rushing today. They had 100
against, and that's supposed to be one of the top defenses in the league. The Cowboys. They
supposed to
always
be.
bragged about their defense being the top in the league, but the Saints ran through them like they were the swinging gates. I mean,
Right.
And then Kamara looked like he was shot out of a cannon. You see what I'm saying? The way he didn't dilly-dally around in the backfield. He got that ball. He shot through that hole real quick. And Dallas was chasing him. They chased. They were playing him from behind.
Right.
And right off the bat, so Saints march all the way down the field and get a touchdown. The first offensive play they had on the field, they go down and get a touchdown. Well, that kind of stunned them. That kind of stunned Dallas. And then it's been that after that, it was downhill ever since.
Yeah, it was special, man, watching them. Hell, like I said, the Saints had 180 yards rushing in week 1. Had 100 and what was it? 180 to 190. Yeah, they had 180 yards rushing in week 1, Pops, and 190 this week. 100. They were 10 yards off of 200 yards rushing by committee approach. They got whatever they want whenever they wanted. They got it. They moved that ball. They scored on so many consecutive drives. By the time the Cowboys knew what was hitting them, the Saints were severely up. The game was pretty much over. They were in control of the clock, and all of the had been placed on Dak Prescott, who didn't have a running attack. The Saints defense held these people to 68 yards rushing collectively. CeeDee Lamb was neutralized for a great part. Like you said, except for the missed tackle, Tyrann Mathieu and Debo, they didn't have anything. They were a lucky touchdown off a broken play.
Right, off a broken play, a missed tackle. The guy actually, he tackled him, but he didn't bring him down, and then he got his balance, and that's how he scored. Because if it wasn't for that, if that tackle had been made, they might have been shut out from getting a touchdown. And that's absolutely a tribute to Kubiak and his scheme, his offensive scheme. And then we got the defensive coaches. Man, I'm telling you, this thing is rolling. If they keep it going without any injuries, and they're going to have some sometimes, but they got to be like a next man up mentality. Somebody step right into the injured players' space and continue to keep the chain rolling. But they like what they're doing, and they, like I said, from the first offensive snap, they were out there, they were in it. They ran the ball. Everything was like quick. It wasn't no Derek Carr standing back there and dancing around to get sacked. No, he got that ball out quick.
Yes, that's the thing. Let's talk about the offensive line, Pops. That was a point of contention. A lot of people were talking about could the Saints offensive line hold up? Well, 180 yards rushing in week 1, 190 yards rushing in week number 2. What's your thoughts on the Saints offensive line through week 2, and can they continue it up against Philly?
Now, Philly's going to be a step up even beyond Dallas. But the Saints offensive line can open holes, and you've seen it. They do it. Them do it 2 weeks in a row against. I know Carolina wasn't too good a team, but against a quality opponent like Dallas, Dallas is not a pushover team. The Saints got the best of them because of the excellence of blocking of the offensive line. I believe they can continue to do what they're doing against Philly too. They're just going to have to be continue to execute the plays, continue to try to open holes to give Kamara and the other runners that the running room that they're going to need. See, it varies from week to week, but I think that the Saints might have a shot at beating Philly. All we can do is put it in the hands. I think that they have a good shot at beating Philly, especially that they've gotten the long ball under control. The way Derek's throwing that ball, and then he finds Shaheed. He got that ball to him right in stride. There was nothing Dallas could do. All he could do is just run right in, catch the ball, or look around, there's the ball. That's pinpoint precision passing that was done at that time by Derek Carr.
Yeah, Derek Carr needs all the credit in the world how Derek Carr has been playing the QB position over the last couple of weeks. And as long as the Saints can keep this balance and make the emphasis on running the football to open up the defense to allow the play action to happen, because the linebackers, like I said, we're going to study the film on our Patreon, all 22. This is going to be a fun matchups to look at.
Right. I would definitely, we're gonna look at it. I say I can't predict whether they're gonna beat Philly, but this is going to be one of their toughest tests to see if they can handle. I think that game is in Philly.
I think the Saints come. Yes, you're right, Pops. I think it is in Philadelphia, man. I think it is in Philly. Let me make sure. I forget sometime. I think it's at home. It's at home. It's at home.
Okay, well, we have a good shot at it with the crowd around us. And Jalen, their quarterback, he's not a pushover. He's a smart young man. He's a smart young quarterback. So we're gonna have to really get some heat on him, because he'll run that offense. So we got to get heat on him. We got to put pressure on him, get some sacks and slow down the offense. I think the Saints got the people to do it, especially that secondary. This seems like they're the best secondary they've had in quite a while.
Right. Yeah, we looking good, and guess what? We didn't have Lattimore, Pop.
Yeah, Lattimore. Yes, Lattimore is out. I don't know when he's coming back. I haven't heard anything, but we got a shot. We got a shot at beating them. If we can play like we played today, we have a good shot at winning next week's game too. And this is probably the toughest part of their schedule. See what I'm saying? All we got to do is just show up to play. Give them a fight. If we're gonna lose, give them a fight. Don't go down swinging.
That's right. I don't. And this is the thing too, Pops. Man, listen. They got a chance every game because of the way the Saints are playing. They're playing through the strongest unit they have, which is the running attack. Mixing in Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara along with Jamal Williams is so incredibly difficult for defenses to center on, because you get used to the speed of Alvin Kamara, if there's such a thing, and then you hit him with Taysom Hill on the next play, who has a different speed. So the defenses have difficulty not only to figure out who's getting the ball, because there's always this movement going on. And then they mix in Rashid Shaheed in it. So you got Rashid Shaheed getting the ball like a runner on the end around. You got Taysom Hill getting the ball. You got Adam Prentice coming in. He's blocking it. Adam Prentice has turned into a different dude. Juwan Johnson's turned into a different dude. Foster Moreau, they're all playing and flowing better in this offense. They are blocking really well. Juwan Johnson's game. All these guys are flowing in assist. Christopher Lobby got involved more. He had 2 catches in week 1. He's flowing in this one. So it's incredibly difficult to pinpoint exactly who's going to get the ball in the Saints system, how would it look? And then, of course, Philly will have the same issues. They have to be able to watch and see what goes on. That's what Dallas got caught studying. Dallas was taking too long to try to read what was going on with the Saints offense. And by the time they finally see who got the ball, Elvin's 3 yards beyond him. Taysom Hill's 4 yards beyond him, running into the defense, pushing them over, going forward.
Right.
It was a phenomenal thing. Most defenses will struggle against that offense unless their offense is running that type of offense. Then they would kind of have a better feel. But if you're not used to seeing it, you're gonna naturally struggle against it because you don't know what they're doing.
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. Shout out to Mr. Mel, man. Mr. Mel says CFT Cowboys fell in the toilet. Dawsoni in 2000. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Thank you, Mr. Mel. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. And like I said, shout out to the super chatters and the cash rappers. Thank you guys for doing what you're doing. Appreciate you for being here.
Look at this guy's face.
Oh, Kelvin says, Q, you extra petty, but I love it. Hey, bro, listen, bro. I'm just going to be honest with you. Shout out to you, Kel. Avis, I see you. Roy, I see you. Tiger Fist, I see you. Listen, all I'm saying, fam, listen. People were saying this stuff to me. I didn't go out there telling the Cowboys people are being mean and nasty. Y'all know I've been extra cool and humble with the Cowboys people. Rome came on the show, had Rome on the show. I didn't talk mess. I was very cool. I was very calm. I was very humble. Y'all know that. I wasn't extra. I wasn't petty with it. But they were talking so much stuff, and technology is such a loving thing. So you could be able to eventually show what they were saying. And then Rome was talking stuff after he got off the show with me. He did a show and he was saying, man, we're going to smash the Saints. We're going to 40 burger the Saints. So I'm acting as merely as a vestige of the universal creator by merely showing and documenting and showing you guys the end result of somebody who's eating crow. See, this is what you're going to look like after the end of the show. It's not petty for me to show, because I showed them at the beginning, right? You ever seen the weight loss pictures? You got the big guy before, and then you got the slim guy at the end, right? This is actually kind of in the reverse, because the guy was puffed up with pride. He was talking, and at the end of the day, he probably even more puffed up with pride. Well, not so much because he's puffed up because he's eating a crow with the feathers and everything, and sometimes that's not a good thing. But that's why I showed it, because I showed what he said before, and now I'm showing what he's saying right now. And I was laughing because it's a great reaction from the brother. It's like he's seen a ghost. I just think it's so funny.
That's how
Don't
the
you
face look when he chased crow.
I'm saying, hey, am I wrong to laugh at him getting his justice? Am I wrong to laugh? They would do the same to me. Fam, don't y'all understand? Remember I had to put that Falcon shirt on, Pops? Remember that I lost that bet below? Right. I had to put that goddamn Falcon shirt on. I wasn't happy about that, but they were laughing their ass off, man. I was pissed. But I was upset. But I had to put that shirt on. They got their chuckle and everything like that. So I'm just this man getting his comeuppance as long as with his crow and everything else. So let him be happy over there. All right. Rising 2012 says, Q, you were very respectful, but I could tell you knew what it really I did, fam. I knew what it was. I knew what it was. And that's why I was telling the family members. I said it in last night's show. Go back and listen to it. I said, fam, how? And I kept asking them, say, listen, I'm being respectful. And I said it again in the show. I said, listen, to my Cowboy people, I said, how are you going to stop Alvin Kamara? That's what I said, right? Put one in the chat. I said, respectfully, how are you going to stop Alvin Kamara? I told them everything. I didn't hold any secrets. I told them, I said, listen, Derek Carr is the least of your worries, because they're thinking, hey, we got to stop Derek Carr. I said, no, you have to focus on Alvin Kamara. You have to worry about Taysom Hill. That's what I told him. I said, Alvin Kamara is the least of your worries, because Kamara's doing that. He's running, Taysom running, Jamal's running. That sets up Derek Carr to operate in a balanced system when guys are getting free and he has shots downfield, because the safeties have to worry about what's going on with the run. If the front 7 guys are allowing the Saints to gash them for 5, 6, and 7 yards at a carry, which was going on early on, safety have to come down to the box to help and run support. When that happens, all that's open. Then you see Rashid Shaheed, you see Chris Olave, all those guys going to be catching passes downfield on one-on-one matchups. I favor those matchups because if you throw to Chris Olave and he one-on-one a guy, the majority of the time he's going to beat that guy. He's going to beat him. So you've seen plays where you've seen Chris Olave in one-on-one matchups like the touchdown, not the touchdown, but the reception where the cornerback made the tackle on him right at the goal line, one-on-one like that. That's because they got to make sure they try to stop everything else. You cannot stop everybody. That's what I was saying, and I've used the term over and over again, mismatch nightmares. The Saints have several of them. You can't stop all of these people. I told them that. I wasn't being boisterous, but I was saying you got to have a unique defense to be able to deal with what the Saints are giving because nobody out there has something what the Saints have. People got to understand that. They don't have what the Saints have in terms of talent. They just needed somebody who can organize the talent and use them in a successful manner, and they appeared to have gotten that person. I see 0 factor of rust on this team after 2 weeks, and it usually takes 3 weeks to 4 weeks for you to get the rust off you. I don't see no rust on these people, fam. No rust on the Saints. That is very odd, but it's not rare. But how often have you seen that? You see Black Preacher Man head trauma. I told him, Annette. Remember, Antoinette, remember I told him that? I said, listen, man, I was very, very real. But when the brother get to talking and he started, running it and started being boisterous, you end up getting that face. All right. So anyway, shout out to the Cowboy people, man. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for playing, All right. And then Michael says, do you make Gay spy on Hurts? That's a good question, bro. We have to see how that works, how that's going to end up happening, because he did play today. Willie Gay was out there, but Pete Werner was making plays as well. But it's a different circumstance, isn't it? Even from Bryce Young has the scramble ability, but Jalen Hurts really lives on that. Jalen Hurts is very intelligent in how he decides to move around and do what he got to do. So it's going to be difficult to a degree. But that's why Willie Gay's here. Willie Gay and Chase Young are here because of Jalen Hurts. The Achilles heels that Hurts represents. Since he's been a quarterback there, the Saints have not beaten Jalen Hurts. The only one time they beat him during the Jalen Hurts eras, he was hurt, and we played Gardner Minshew and demolished the Eagles that year, which I think was last year. Wasn't it last year? Y'all remind me. But they demolished the Eagles. So with Jalen Hurts there, it's a different set of circumstances because he creates outside of the pocket. So the Saints have to have guys that's fast enough. They got to have guys fast enough to be able to keep him wrangled in and be able to contain him and then get him on the ground. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. So we'll see, man. We got plenty of time to preview this matchup. Just enjoy the window we have right here as we took these people apart, man. We're 2-0, and now we coming back home for a really hot game against Philadelphia. I can only see what the media going to be pumping the Saints up to be. We're going to kind of play that to the side. I ain't worrying about what these media types say because most of them pick the Cowboys to win. They're going to sit up here and eat crow and come back and say, well, hey, I learned. I'm riding with the Saints, man. Shut up. We don't need your wind floating ass over here. Stay where you are. Keep picking against us. We need to focus at the mission of hand, which is beating every team or playing everybody, Philadelphia, all these teams moving forward. So we got Philly next. Season just rolling on, man. We got a 12 o'clock tip-off against the Eagles next Sunday in the Dome. So that'll be a nice matchup. Then behind that, we got the Falcons, then the Chiefs, and we keep this thing going. And I can only imagine how better the Saints offense will get as more wrinkles are revealed, as the Saints continue to do what they've been doing, more wrinkles are revealed, and it's just going to be phenomenal going forward. And as the chemistry continues to build, the synergy continues to build, at some point I expect the Saints to lose, but man, listen, I do appreciate this before we leave. I do appreciate the fact that the Saints had 10 penalties last week, and they had half of that this week. The team they were phenomenal. They cut the miscues down. They were very intelligent in how they did what they needed to do. The offense ran the ball even better. They revealed more wrinkles. The defense showed you that they can get after the quarterback, get him on the ground, The Saints picked off the quarterback multiple times in the game. Our special teams wasn't really called upon, but they still handled the business. So all three aspects of the Saints, once again, were phenomenally balanced. So the offense kept scoring and had a killer instinct to them. The Saints have a killer instinct to them where they just kept pounding and on and then had to relent and get off the pedal. You see, so through 2 weeks, and it's just 2 weeks, the Saints offense exhibited killer instinct, haven't they? They only let up off the pedal when they get to the fourth quarter when the game is well in hand. They don't mash on the pedal, they get up off of it. And they did that in the fourth quarter again because they could have kept mashing on this team. They couldn't stop them. So it'll be fun, man. Anyway. All right. So big ups to the fam, man. Thank y'all for being here. Yeah, Q. The Ryan says, Q, I'm getting fat on these teeth. Yeah, yes. Yeah, when people start talking, you got a spotlight. You say, oh, you talking over there? Let me put you on screen. That's what you're saying. That's the great thing about technology, man. When people start ripping and running their mouths, you can kind of show them eating crow virtually. All right, so anyway, let's move into this, man. Let me show you. Let's get the scoreboard right here, right now so far. Boy, look what's going on here. This is the Sunday scoreboard right here, fam. Cardinals currently, as of 4:48 Central Time, are beating the Rams 31-3. Boy, they hammering the Rams 31-3. The Rams have the ball and are marching, trying to get a touchdown. Kyler Murray with 3 touchdowns. Arizona tearing the Rams up right now. The Steelers at half, beating Sean Payton's Broncos 10-0. The Bengals are up 16-10 on Pat Mahomes boys in this squad right now. Although Pat Mahomes boys have the ball and they are marching, so they might be making a score there. Tonight's game will be Bears Texans. That'll be CJ Stroud lining up against Caleb Williams. It'll be an interesting game. And of course, we know about the Saints' demolishment and annihilation of the Dallas Cowboys 44-19 in their building. The Buccaneers got to win, fam. Watch out for the Bucs. The Bucs beat the Lions 20-16. Baker Mayfield is still looking good. Remember, I told you all about the Buccaneers. People are talking about the Falcons. It's not the Falcons, it's the Bucs. The Bucs are sneaking around with no pressure. They have won the NFC South 3 years in a row. Baker Mayfield still playing at a high level. Todd Bowles has a cool team, and them people have talent. Don't overlook the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I told you that when the Saints play the Bucs, I think it's in week number 6. We can't overlook the Bucs. We can't look over anybody, but the Buccaneers are riding underneath there with no pressure on them. 20-16 over Detroit. The Colts lost to the Packers today, 16-10. Malik Willis put up some points, to help them win today. Richardson had 3 interceptions. He basically didn't play. He was hurt last year for the season. He's trying to get back right. The Jets and Aaron Rodgers won their first game. They beat the Titans 24-17. The Vikings are now 2-0. They beat the 49ers 23-17. So the 49ers lost today, 23-17. Seattle beat the Patriots 23-20. They're 2-0. The Giants lost to the Commanders. So Jaden Daniels gets his first win as a pro, 21-18. The Chargers beat the crap out of the Panthers 26-3. The Panthers are now 0-2, and it's looking tough. I hate to listen to Shad and Dave's PNP Nation podcast to hear what them brothers think about what's happening with the Carolina Panthers after the Saints knocked them off in week number 1. They then return at home and lose 26-3 to the Chargers. And the Chargers with Harbaugh, who we'll be seeing him on our schedule, are 2-0 at this point. The Browns and Deshaun Watson got a win against the Jags 18-13. Jags 0-2. And the Raiders, probably a big win for them. They beat the Ravens 26-23, and the Ravens play the Cowboys this upcoming week. So the Cowboys might lose 2 straight. So there you go. Of course, the Thursday matchup, Bills destroyed the Dolphins 31-10, and the Falcons and the Eagles play Monday night. So we will definitely be looking at that game, scouting the Eagles. And really, truthfully, the way it falls is you get the Eagles this week, and then the following week you get the Falcons. So that's a game where we can kind of do a little scout work on. So much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all, man, as we get back into the stream as well. And as we're about to get ready to get on up out of here. Pops, what are your thoughts, final thoughts on week number 2, Saints dispatchment and annihilation of the Dallas Cowboys? Love it.
It was totally surprising to me that that it went the way it did, but like I said, the Saints executed outstandingly well, and that is one of the reasons why on defense as well as offense, and that's the reason they got the win. I think the Cowboys didn't expect this to hit them like it did, and then they ended up being embarrassed on their own floor.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So anyway, appreciate y'all for tuning in on this one, man. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream, man. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. Listen, Saints take care of business. They are 2-0, destroyed the Cowboys. Saints come home for a noontime game next Sunday, against the Philadelphia Eagles, who play Monday night against the Atlanta Falcons. So watching the Atlanta Falcons game on Monday night might be something else. I don't know. We'll see how. I don't know if I'm going to live stream that one. I most certainly will be paying attention to it, watching, because like I said, we play Eagles this next Sunday on the short week, and then the Falcons that we play after that. So it could be an interesting game. See what happens there. All right. So anyway, with that being said, let me get on up out of here. Listen, I appreciate everybody, man. Thank y'all, all the family members, for your super chat, cash apps, and spending time with us on this live watch party. And listen, we'll be back Monday, man, to talk about more of the black and gold and all the latest thing. We need to get an update on Taysom Hill. Dennis Allen did say Taysom Hill went to the hospital. He had chest pains or something was going on. He had a situation to get just a checkup to make sure he's all right. We'll have the latest on that on Monday, and we'll go over all the rest of the stuff and pinpoints even more of a detailed approach for our Monday stream. So with that being said, I'm gonna get out on that. I thank y'all for tuning in, and I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next one. Much love, and who that to you. Peace.
Yeah. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO